Hey guys, Muffin Game back today bringing a video for our weapon conversion series, and today we'll be covering the MG42 and convert it into the MG08/18. So we'll build this conversion, go ahead and show off how it handles in-game against bots. Let's go ahead now and we'll back out and get right into it. So here's the final design for the MG08/18. This is actually a World War II air-cooled variant of the MG08 Maxim machine gun. So we'll go ahead and back out and I'll strip this thing down to base. So we'll start with the base MG42, and the first attachment we're going to want is the recoil booster. This will give us the fire rate increased by 2, and the cons is the accuracy will be decreased by 1. So we'll go ahead and select that. That'll give us the typically similar muzzle device that we have on the actual MG08/18. Now the barrel option here, in real life, the barrel option is going to be, I believe it's somewhere around 720 millimeters, so we're going to want the 680 millimeter 31M. So this will be a long barrel, improved stability, accuracy, marksmanship, but is less flexible at closer range. So this will give us the highly accurate and controllable, reduces scope sway and gun bob, and the cons here are the sprint to fire speed and the hip fire accuracy. So we'll go ahead and select that. Now just one thing to be noted here, you could also go with the 890 millimeter barrel. However, it's a little bit too long to real life, but if we're going to stay true to the air-cooled variant here, the MG08/18, it kind of has a mixture of a barrel between, at least aesthetically, between these two. More so, it would look like this, just longer, with the carrying handle of this with the 680. So we'll select the 680. We have the right carrying handle there on the right-hand side. However, there are some distinct differences between this barrel and the barrel for the MG08/18. So we'll select that. Now the optic, we'll just go with the alternate iron sights down here at the very bottom. We'll go with the IS-88MG. This is going to increase our aim down sight speed and our alternate iron sight construction. So that'll give us a little bit clearer sight picture. We'll go ahead and put that on. Stock option, we're going to go with the S91MG. Again, we can't really get the right butt stock for this, but this is kind of the closest one. So this will give us the horizontal recoil control +3, aim down sight speed +1. Cons are -2 to the movement speed and -1 to the hip fire accuracy. So we'll select that. Proficiency, we're going to run the same stuff that we were running with the MG42 yesterday. We're going to go ahead and do tight grip. This will give us the +1 accuracy and recoil control during sustained fire. And then for our kit, we're going to want defender for mounted movement speed +1. Now, the rear grip, we're going to go ahead and just, same as yesterday's for the MG42, the pine tar grip is going to assist us with that recoil control +2 and the hip fire accuracy +1. Cons are the ADS speed -1. So like that. Now, the magazine option here, this is going to be an interesting one. In real life, this thing did accept the 250 round box mag for the MG08. So the 8mm or the 7.9 2 by 57 Mauser rounds here, the 250 box. This is very similar to what the MG08, the box that it accepted, so we'll go ahead and select that. It's going to increase our ammunition by double, so we're going to go from 125 to 250 of that 8mm of the 7.92 by 57mm Mauser. That'll give us a pro of the maximum ammo capacity. Obviously, we're doubling. And the cons here, reload quickness, -2, aim down sight speed, and movement speed, both -1. So we'll go ahead and select that. Ammo type, we can really go with whichever one here, but for the purpose of this, we'll go with lengthened. This is going to give us the +3 to the bullet velocity. It's interesting in the description too, it also says that the bullets are just packing more powder. So it's very accurate to real life. I like the description they did with this one. So we'll select that, increase our bullet velocity, get shots on target quicker, we won't need to lead as much. And then for the underbarrel attachment, we're going to go ahead and we are going to want that bipod. So this will give us +4 to the recoil control when mounted, crouch, or prone, and -1 to the sprint to fire speed. So we'll select that, and this is our MG08/18. This is a light machine gun air-cooled version of the MG08/15, which is basically just a more portable version of the Maxim machine gun, the MG08, also firing that 7.92 by 57 Mauser or the 8mm. So this is the final design. Now, there obviously are some distinct differences. You can see with the photos on screen versus this. The whole receiver is completely different, obviously. We're doing the best we can here, but the barrel assembly, also similar-ish. It has the right carrying handle, and the muzzle device pretty close to accurate. The bipod, in general, would be moved back further on the real-life version, And obviously the butt stock difference and the pistol grip difference would be obviously pretty obvious there. But you can see this is actually as close as we'll be able to get with this. Unfortunately, it's actually, I would surprisingly closer than I thought I was going to get trying to make this. There's a couple different versions of this weapon we can make. Also, something like the MG18 Tough would be one, but also that one's a little bit difficult to make as well. But we do have the right ammunition for that. But there really wasn't a portable variant like this. It was more so mounted like the MG08 was. So this is the final design. Let's go ahead now and we'll jump in game with our MG08-18, our portable air-cooled version of the MG08 or the MG08-15. So we'll go ahead, jump in game here against bots. We're going to be utilizing this. Again, with 250 rounds, I'm going to be trying just to ideally mount it where I can on objects and just let this thing rip with 250 rounds. The recoil control is basically the exact same as we saw with the MG42 yesterday. So I'm not going to really do the recoil test here, but it is very accurate. Even if you'll see me firing this thing while standing and not mounted, very, very accurate to get shots on target, but obviously you want to prone or mount this thing, and you have 250 rounds to dump at your enemy. So this gun, the MG42 in general, when these weapons are integrated into Warzone, are just going to be stupid good. This thing's going to be nuts with the 1,200 to 1,500 rounds per minute that it has in game. With this 250 round of the 8mm belt, is going to be insane when it comes to Warzone. But for the purpose of this video, the MG08-18, again, this is basically, like I said, a portable air-cooled variant of what was the MG08 or the Maxim machine gun. So firing 7.92x57 Mauser ammunition, it was introduced, the MG08 was introduced in 1908. It was in service in Germany through 1945. Now, this version, like I said, is a portable air-cooled version. So the gun weighed in real life 14.9 pounds with the bipod, and the length was 1,445 millimeters, and the barrel length would be 720 millimeters in real life. Here, we're doing the best we can with 680. We don't really have an accurate depiction for the barrel length or the cosmetic design. And then in real life, this would accept anywhere from just a standard belt all the way up to 250 round box magazine that the MG08 would be compatible with as well. And the rate of fire in real life was 450 rounds per minute. So a little bit different than what we see here in game, coming in around 1,200 to 1,500 rounds per minute here in the game, because we are utilizing the MG42. Unfortunately, the barrels aren't going to decrease the bullet fire rate, unfortunately. But I guess that's obviously for good reason, seeing that it really is at base in MG42, obviously. Now, this weapon, again, very interesting weapon. It saw limited service at the end of World War I. Very limited production, the MG08-18. But again, the MG08 itself was put in service, or kept in service, all the way through the end of World War II, and also had conversions to multiple different ammunitions, such as with this one, we're firing the 7.92x57 Mauser, and the MG08 obviously was compatible with that. The MG08 itself also was compatible with 7.65x53 Mauser, 7x57 Mauser, and 13x92 Tough, which we do have that ammunition here in game. However, I don't really believe there was a portable variant of that weapon that fires a 13x92mm round. That's a big boy anti-tank, anti-aircraft round. So we don't really have the right barrel assembly or anything to create that weapon exactly as it is. It would basically look, I would say, the same as this, just with the different ammo conversion on there for the 13x92. But the weapon itself, the MG08, obviously kind of the grandfather of what we would see for the German military's machine guns, further developed into World War II for the MG34, and then eventually the MG42, and then later on we saw the MG3 after World War II, adopting the standard NATO 7.62x51mm. So that's really it for this weapon. Not too much information on this thing in real life, because it really is a very limited production model of the MG08. Again, the MG08-18 saw very limited production at the end of World War I, and I don't believe it was ever really utilized in World War II at all. Very few were produced at the end of World War I, and that was really the end of it. By that point, we get into World War II, the MG34 was being produced, and there was no need for anything like this. However, the MG08 itself, like I said, did find service, continued through World War II, mainly as mounted and placement weapons for anti-aircraft and anti-vehicle. But let me know what you guys think of this down below. This is the MG08-18, the air-cooled light machine gun variant of the MG08, the MG08-18. Let me know what you guys think down below. Till next time, this is Buckner Gaming. Out.